Welcome back to Revved Up Bowling. My name is Jason Robarge, and today we got a ball review for you. We're going to be reviewing the brand new DV8 Mantra. The Mantra is an midline asymmetric hybrid. This has the Insider Extreme cover stock on it, similar ones that were on the Collision line, and we all know how good those bowling balls were. It has a mid to low RG, about 2.50-ish around there, 0.047 diff, and a lower 0.011 intermediate diff. Why did they create this bowling ball? Well, if you're looking for easy length and a pretty quick flipping bowling ball, that is gonna be this ball. I've yet to throw it, but with the layout I put on it, which was a 70 by 4.5 by 30, what I'm expecting is easy length and a quick flip at the end. Probably provide a lot of recovery and a bigger left to right shape. One of the things you'll notice about this particular drilling is, where is the asym part? Well, the asym part fell in my thumb. Well, what does that do? Well, when you increase your drill number, typically that's gonna make your mass bias go inward, right? When you go inward enough, you're going to be drilling into the mass bias portion. What that does is creates a more continuous shape on the back end. You're gonna be lowering that intermediate diff. And as we know, metrics that don't have much of an intermediate diff, especially pre-drilling, create a much more continuous shape on the back end. This will provide a more continuous shape than typical because I'm taking a lot of that intermediate diff out. So what we're gonna do is bowl on some house shot. This is a souped up house shot. I added some volume to it in order to throw bowling balls like this, or if you guys watch the other videos on the one and the crusher, in order to play multiple parts of the lane and not be locked out on the right side. I'm gonna be throwing shots, first arrow, second arrow, third arrow, all the way across the lane, and then I'm gonna throw quite a few shots around the lane to get you guys a good idea on what this gorgeous bowling ball does. I'm really a big fan of blue. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get this ball review going. I'm gonna throw a shot up first arrow, we're gonna watch it overhook, and then I'm gonna move left. I'm gonna try to pick speed up to at least give it a fighting chance, but just kidding. That looked really good. It struck, don't get me wrong, but that ball was way too quick to respond. I don't think I could do that twice, but since that was such a surprise, we're gonna go ahead and do that again. First shot with the ball and it strikes. Hey now, you're not around. Because whenever I play right, it overhooks, like every time. Let's go ahead and try to do that again. I threw a little slow, a little right to the friction quick. Just over too quick to respond. It's okay, it's not meant to play that. We're gonna move left a little bit, see what this ball actually does. If I had to guess, bowling balls that would be like this. Clean, quick responding, a little bit left to right shape. Phenomenal bowling ball, by the way. Zigzag, I feel like zigzag may be a little stronger than this, just because how mine was. Again, easy length, quick to respond. And also the Beyond Infinity, which was probably the smoothish-ish out of those, but it had a pretty similar layout to this. I'm gonna imagine it's gonna be pretty similar to the Beyond Infinity. Second arrow. All right. Yeah, kind of to be expected. You guys can kind of see how quickly it does transition. It is transitioning a little earlier than even I expected, especially with such a tall drill angle. But let's go ahead and keep moving left and see if this ball can blend out a little bit more, get a little bit more oil underneath it. Third arrow. Not too bad. I was up the back of it quite a bit. You can definitely see how quickly this ball does transition. Far, with that shot especially, really like to roll forward quite a bit. Might be a little bit stronger cover stock than even I expected. It is a hybrid, but it does come out of factory polish. We're gonna go ahead and try to throw a similar shot to that. Very nice. Add a little bit of rotation, change the entry angle. But you can see this ball, definitely, you can see this ball. I mentioned easy length. I think it's not as easy as I expected. It does have a lower RG. It's gonna make it wanna roll earlier, but I think I expected a little bit cleaner cover stock far. Right now, it's pretty aggressive in the way that where it reads on the lane. It's early-ish, not as much length as I expected. Let's go and throw a similar shot. Very nice. It actually holds the pocket really well. Quick responding still, that's to be expected. But I put a similar-ish kind of layout on the Wicked Collision. Now that is definitely a bigger block bowling ball. Covers more boards, just big brother. I see similarities-ish to that kind of ball with this one, which does make sense because they're using a modified but very similar cover stock on this ball and the collision. I'm not seeing as much continuation on the back end, and I'm seeing a little bit more early roll, like where it picks up the lane. I expected it to be a little more continuous and maybe a little later down lane. It's fun to see. Let's go and throw another shot like that, ball shape a little bit more. It goes to the pins really well, I'll tell you that. Left to right, yes. Burn ball, no. If you're looking for a left to right shape, probably not, up the lane too much, especially if you're heavy-handed. This would be a ball that would be, I think it honestly is very similar to the Theorem. The Theorem like to transition and roll forward pretty well. I expected this ball to have more continuation off the back end than the Theorem, but honestly, it's pretty close. Maybe the Theorem had a little bit cleaner cover stock. I think it had a little higher RG as well. That could play into it. While that looked good, we're gonna move left. We're gonna test recovery. I am already having to get around it to get the right entry angle. If I had to guess, flat 10, flat 7, 5-7, something. I will have to continue to get around it to make this ball work. Oh, that wasn't great. Oh, but it worked out. You can see how much I have to get around it a little bit to get that entry angle. But what I liked about that is, if you guys have ever needed to trap a ball, what I mean by trap is you're trying to get it close to the pocket, and all you're really looking for is to get the ball to transition and either roll forward into the pocket or just roll over a little bit. I feel like this ball could be good for that simply because it doesn't continue as much as I expected. It can get some length for sure. We're in a lot of oil now. That got a lot more length. I think that was, the longest of our length bar, which is 46 feet. It makes sense as we move left, we're getting more length. Go ahead and try to do that again. Not throw a terrible shot. Well, I can strike a lot with it. If you guys watched that ball go through the pins, you saw some deflection. It struck well, but it did take out the 9th pin pretty flush. What that tells me is it's using a lot of energy throughout the lane, and it doesn't have as much when it hits the pocket. What I'm gonna do is try to cover less board. With this shot, I'm gonna go ahead and keep my angles in a little bit, keep it in the oil more, and be able to get the ball to have more energy as it goes through the pocket. Go and do that. Just feet in the same place. We're just gonna make our break point 10, 11, maybe 12 at most instead of much better. Went through the pins a lot better. Was able to keep it tight and it held the pocket off. From what I've seen with this kind of bowling ball, transition for sure. Once the lanes start slowing down, you need quicker responding bowling balls to make up the fact. I feel like you can throw this in transition all day long. If you need an ASIM that holds the pocket off but responds quickly, get the ball to trap into the pocket a little bit more, you could definitely use it. If you're looking for something more continuous in the same realm of this kind of bowling ball, I think something like an Ethos. An Ethos would make sense if you want more continuation. If you want something similar to this. Zigzag to a point, I mentioned the zigzag. That ball I think was just more overall, hooked a little bit more, hooked a little earlier, but still was quite quick to transition. Beyond Infinity had a little bit more continuation on the back end. I have seen a place that this ball fits that I don't think any other ball does. Theorem probably being the closest. Go ahead, throw some more shots. I'm gonna go ahead and trap the ball again. I just wanna test how much energy can be held into this ball. I'm gonna throw one right. I'm gonna try to get it to burn up, and then I'm gonna keep one in and just see the big differences. Again, we need a little bit more rotation. I'm gonna get around it some. Well, that was definitely too far right, and it wasn't the greatest shot in the world, but it didn't finish, right? We're gonna go ahead and try to keep it in a little bit on this one and see if we can get the ball to store more energy. I'm pretty sure it will. That wasn't a great shot. I need to practice more. Oh, I fouled big time, but I struck. It gets a 4-pin out, I'll tell you that. I gotta clean the approaches. I'm gonna move a little bit farther back right just to play around the lane a little bit. Again, it is quicker responding. If I want to play up the lane, I'm typically looking for something slow responding. Again, more of a left to right ball. Open the lanes up. When there's more ratio in the lanes, you can open it up, send it right a little bit. But again, it will burn up eventually. I don't think I've struck much with the ball. Well, they say mantra right? You're saying, your repetition, you know, if it's meditation, you're repeating something to stay in the zone. The zone with this thing, striking, it repeats that for sure. A little bit more left. I like that shot. I do need to probably get a little bit more speed, a little bit more up the back of it. Well, it wasn't an 8-pin. That's cool. So that was pretty good. Right now, what I've seen with the Mantra, I like that it's quick responding. I haven't had this layout on too many balls. I kind of like it right now. But what's nice is like, I don't think it's gonna overhook. Like, I know when it transitions, it's gonna roll forward. It's not gonna continue going left. If you're looking for massive differences with this ball versus others, pay attention to that roll phase, the entry angle, it's coming off, going through the pins, but more the angle is coming off the end of the pattern. You can see this ball really rev up and then roll pretty straight as it finishes its hook phase. Do this again. So I move right on that one. That one was pretty good. We'll move right a little bit more. Versatility is starting to come into this ball for sure. I didn't think it'd be as versatile as it is. Through the pocket really well when you get right. Definitely. It has plenty of energy, I can tell you that. Some more shots, just so you guys can see what this ball does. Also, if you guys are interested in live streaming from the pro shop, live streaming practices, I'm all down to do that stuff as long as people are interested. If you guys want to see, are doing weekly live streams from the pro shop, just talking about drillings and nerding out with me while I work, let me know and we can get that set up. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna try to avoid the 9-pin. Nope. Grabbed it a lot. Gonna throw a couple more. So what are you guys' favorite DV8 ball? My first ever was the DV8 Marauder. I got that at Junior Gold a decade ago. Actually more than that, which is very upsetting. Very upsetting. Oh yeah, I wanted to compare this to another ball. The Chill. The Chill just came out in the summer. Probably not a lot of people have seen it just because summer. But if you're looking for more continuation, I mentioned the Ethos. Ethos and the Chill, pretty dang similar in my opinion. I think the Chill is maybe a little bit more ball than this one just because of the bigger diff and stuff. But in general, if you're looking for a comparison slash a complement to this ball, if you're looking for more of a burn ball, still a transition-ish ball, but more continuation off the back where it's not flat going through the pocket, the Chill would make sense. Go ahead and throw another one. Nope. Oh wow, I thought it was gonna flat 10. That looks good. I hope they put this house shot out. This is really nice. On my final one, Ace, we're gonna do it again. Where am I playing, sir? Between second and third arrow. Ace wants me to go between second and third arrow. Do I have a specific break point, or do you just want me to try to strike somewhere between second and third arrow? My goal is gonna be 7.5. I'm hoping Specto is pretty accurate on this one. But 7.5, and I want it to 5. So I'm gonna have a plus 2.5. I'm gonna stand on 8 or 8.5, and it should be able to get me there. I know that doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Second and third arrow? My bad. My bad, 12.5 is gonna be, I wanna go 12.5 to 7.5. That's 5. I need to be a plus 2, so that means I gotta be in about 14. I know that doesn't make sense to you guys. If you guys have questions on how I figure out my angles, let me know, and I'll be happy to do a video on it. But I do what makes sense to me, so keep that in mind. 12.5 to 7.5 down lane or so. I need to be faster, okay. Close, Ace. 13 and 5.4. A little right and a little in. Angles are a little bit too steep. So let's go and try that again. I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna do everything the same. Honestly, like that kind of miss, it ain't much. Board each way. So I'm gonna do the exact same stuff. Speed needs to go up a little bit firmer hand. I struck, but everything about that was dead right. What was that, 11? Yeah, 11 to 3. I missed everything right. That's okay. We ended on a strike. That's okay with me. DV8 Mantra. Why do we need it? Well, we definitely need something. Provide some length for sure. Quick responding for sure. And that holds off the pocket. For me, that would be this ball. If I need to trap the ball, keep it tight, longer patterns even, I can really see me throwing this ball. If I need something that's cleaner than the effect, either bowling balls like that, I can go to this before I get into my burn equipment and still be able to chew up some of the oil and still provide enough strength and recovery down lane. The DV8 Mantra will definitely probably fit house shot bag for sure. And I think I've been missing this ball in my tournament arsenal. Whenever I get into transition sometimes, I kind of feel like I ball down too quickly and then I'm fighting the ball to come up the hill and fight you know, the oil that's still on the lane and it's not quite burned yet. I feel like the Mantra can get that. When this video comes out, this ball will come out here in about 2 weeks. If you guys are interested, go ahead and hop online or talk to your local pro shop and pick one up today. This ball is beautiful. If you really like quicker responding bowling balls that lay off on the back end of the pattern, this will be the ball for you. It's not the most aggressive thing in the world, which great, honestly. Bowling balls that hook too much are most of the time pretty unusable. So for this kind of bowling ball, you guys want something, but still is not totally allergic to oil, something like this. Again, if you like the Theorem, the Beyond Infinity, something like that, pretty similar. But with that said, if you guys like this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel way more than you might think. We're trying to build our subs up to 10,000 by the end of the year. We have 4 months to do that, and with your guys' help, we can get there. Once we do get there, we got some surprises in store. If you guys wanna hit that sub button, helps channel a ton, and Ace and I definitely appreciate that. With that said, that was the review of the brand new DV8 Mantra. My name is Jason Robarge. This is Rev It Up Bowling. Much love, peace.